guys? Chancellor T here. I got some information I wanted to discuss with you today. See what you think about it. First thing on the agenda today that the Lord wanted me to share with you is this little vision He gave me last night. I'm not going to share the whole thing, but the most important part that I believe that what He's sharing with me is in this vision, it was like this climbing wall on this guy's wall. I was in this very wealthy person's house, and they had a mural on the wall of the world. It was very nice and lit up, but it was like it became alive to where you could walk on it. It was so big, you know. You can. And he climbed up on top of it. He went up on it. It had holes all over the in there where you can put your feet and your toes, and you can climb up like a climbing wall. He climbed up to the top, and he was looking out over the horizon at this view. He said, but to get this view, you got to climb up here to see it. So I was looking like, what the heck? Because it didn't look like something you want to be climbing on, you know. It looked very pricey, and also looked weird. It was weird because, it's a vision. So he climbs up this wall, then I'm climbing up halfway up the wall, and then I notice, it's a map. It's like the world map. And you put your feet in these little holes, and then you got to find the next hole for the want to get higher. You put your hands in the hole, and then you put your feet in the next hole. So I'm about halfway up, and I'm starting to get scared, and I'm like, man, you know what? This ain't very sturdy. Like you could fall real easy. So I started heading back down. But on my way back down, right, I ripped one of the holes, which would have been a mural, this guy's pricey mural. So my first inclination is to cover it up. So I seen the hole when I got to the ground. I patched it like with my hand, pushed it back up, the piece back up. I put it right back where it was, and then that's something God's showing me too. Like I make a mistake, I don't want to own up to certain things. You make a mistake, you trying to cover it up instead of owning up. Another thing, part of that vision was, I think, personal too. Like He been showing me this in different fashions, getting to new heights, and you scared to climb or even try to go the distance, to fly, to soar, and where you playing it safe and you just down here and you just keep it, won't let God elevate you to another level, you playing it safe. Then the third part, the part that ripped that I saw on the map that ripped was right over the North American continent, and half of the continent, I'd say about where the Midwest, Missouri, Kansas is, that part is what tore, like right in half. Like it wasn't the whole half of the country. It was like towards the back end, tore that little booty piece off, you know what I'm saying? So I think that also ties over into, you pray, ask for discernment, but I think that also ties over into the Madrid fault line that God's been having me warn people about and tell them about, that you guys might want to look into that, because they say it's destined to happen eventually, and it's that Midwest region. If you live in this area, Illinois, Chicago, Indiana, upper Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas. These areas, if that happens, your life's going to be altered in a dramatic way. You're not going to be able to prep for food. So you may want to think about praying and ask God to get you out of that area or prepare you for disasters. Look it up. Google it. It's all over YouTube. They're saying the government's not covering it, and the people that's supposed to warn us about these things are not giving it the attention it deserves. So check it out for yourself, the Madrid fault line. Then that's a major earthquake that they're talking about that's going to take place. Okay, and then the next thing I want to talk about today is, excuse me, I want to discuss kind of like something me and the Lord was talking about this morning. Real quick, basically, I'm running into people in different areas and different places that, as far as the areas that I am looking in or walking into, is, let's say, like African American areas, and just common talk amongst common folk, in shop talk or store talk, or just in different various social settings. What's the conversation like? What's going on in these areas? What's going on? We're trying to peep out, pay attention to what is being said, and if people have bought the media narrative, if the brainwash has taken place to further divide the country. It's just, filling out the people, and looking like it was looking like to me that everywhere I would go, people were having this same conversation. They were all taking this same side. And when you listen to the conversation, people haven't done no research. They don't know what they're basically talking about. I'm not calling them stupid, but they just ain't involved into those political things in an in-depth level of understanding. So, but they're a human being. They got their opinion. Okay, that's the kind way of saying it. You can tell people ain't looking into this stuff. They really just hearing what they see on the news, and they feeding off each other. So this morning, the Lord gave me. I asked the Lord this morning what was going on. Especially amongst black people. Why this is divide taking such a great root. He said it ain't nothing new. People have been doing this. It's just the newest thing, that they have a common interest, a common person that they can join in on, something common to talk about. So he gave me unification of ignorance, unifying in ignorance. It ain't just black people. You got all kind of other different social areas that are doing this. It'll cross over to, if people have a common things that they're into, whatever, I'm going to say, lifestyle choices that they are partaking in, the mindsets, the brainwashed mindset of the liberal mindset. So these people ain't really knowing what's going on. They might have their perspective, and they're more than welcome to it. But you hear the talk, and it's divisive, and it's prejudice, and it's insultive. And if you don't echo it back, if you don't think like they think, then you get alienated, talked about, called names. And it's really sad because so many people have been brainwashed or lied to in such a fashion and they've bought it. They don't take the time to listen to people that's trying to tell them, hey, don't listen to this stuff. This is media warfare. This is a form of a warfare where you brainwash a culture of people. And if you listen to this type of stuff, this was the warnings that was going out, letting you know that the people that own the media have an agenda, and if you join in on what they're telling you, or you don't know this information, whenever they have you echoing whatever talking points they give you, you're going to be echoing that. And that, what they're giving you, is ignorance. It's not from the Lord. It's not from the Holy Spirit of God. It ain't even from a counsel of wisdom. Because you can poke holes all through it. All you got to do is just take some time and listen to somebody that know what's going on. Even if you want to learn and search the matter wholeheartedly, don't be so easily guided into ignorance. Well, unless you want to. And that's another thing the Lord was saying. Is really, nothing you can really do about it. It's dangerous, but at the same time, it's not as dangerous. You just being affected by not fitting in. You're being alienated for not fitting in because you're walking in wisdom, and people aren't walking in wisdom, and that's a sign of a dumbing down culture a culture steeped in immorality, and that's one of the byproducts of sin. So goes the morality, so goes the knowledge, and so goes the wisdom.
8 1 6 2
So
9 3 2 0.
you don't want to just be listening to anything and everybody is telling you. You want to weigh it with a grain of salt, and you want to be able to have a conversation that is intelligent and open-minded and not closed-minded. But it's easy. So basically, God gave me that. So basically, what it is people saying, hey, this, whatever is being said about this person or this figure, let's talk about it. He's an idiot. Yeah. Let's join in together. It's fun. It's almost like a form of bullying where you have a mob mentality where everybody, it's easier to fit in with people that are talking like this, talking about this, acting like this. You know it's alienating. It's like you know it's alienating if you speak contrary to it, and you don't want to fit in. You don't want to not fit into the crowd, so you join in with the rest of the people being ignorant. You can have a wise person knowing better, still doing these in different ways and forms in life. Or you can just have people that's just misinformed doing it. But it's not good. I want to talk about our leaders. You got to know who the leaders are. I don't care if they're a star athlete. I don't care if they're a musician. I don't care if they are a actor. You got to know these people. You don't know these people. You can say you know these people. You know of these people. You know these people's characters that they've been playing, the personas. You know what what's that person called? What you would call them? The person that they PR person created for you to know. What they held back and held out of your sight about the real person. Right? You know a facade of an individual. And so the real person might be took some money, or they want to protect their career because they seen what happens when you don't join the mob. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. They know it's financially not feasible to join in with, to speak up for yourself and not join in with people that control ignorance. So if a liberal mindset control Hollywood, to control the people that are the corporate mind, the elite establishments, the mainstream media, what's this called, the Silicon Valley, all these people are in cahoots. The educational system, how about that? If these people control them and that's how they get their money, then they are under their control and they are going to protect their interests. And their interest is to keep the money coming in for themselves and from you. So if you are listening to these people, it don't matter what these people echo. They don't live like you. They don't live if they say if a policy is passed, right, eventually it'll get to them, maybe. But if a policy is passed, it's such as immigration policy, them immigrants ain't moving into their communities. They living up with the rich people, the super financially well off. They might get some rich ones, but the rich ones ain't even radicalized and they ain't trying to do nothing crazy. I don't know everybody, but hey, I'm just saying, they're going to be moving in your community. So you're going to listen to somebody give you advice on where someone should live and who you should let into your country so they can live around you, and then they can bring in their agenda to tell you how to live your life, bring in their laws and push it on you, because that is what they do. You need to do some research. It's the truth. It's a proven fact. It's not hard to figure out. You don't want to alienate nobody for the basis of their religion, but at the same time, if their religion is very damaging to the people around them, you better wake up and pay attention and be aware of what they believe and know if that's going to affect you and your child. Because if somebody's religion was to be a social psychopath, would you want them living there? You wouldn't let the child molesters move in. Why would you let somebody that has a tendency to be bent in a certain way, that's been trained all their life to be thinking a certain way? They ain't from here. They ain't thinking freedoms like you. They're not thinking like that. I'm just telling the truth. They grew up in a whole different culture where it's okay to be disrespectful to their parents. Little teenage boys are disrespectful to their moms, and they ain't got no rule over them. They just wild. Not saying everybody. I ain't labeling that, and I ain't trying to get off onto this little kick. But I'm saying I'm disappointed in our African American leaders and other leaders for helping to push the narrative, helping to get up and say something that's going to cause all these people that listen to you to go out and keep echoing this junk. A lot of folks think I don't like black people. I done heard that before. You know, you hate your own people, or you're a race traitor or whatever. Huh. Not a race traitor. I love black people. I love all people. But at the same time, I'm not one that tolerates ignorance. If you got a lot of ignorance around you and it's drenching off you, and it can affect my life, I ain't got no patience for ignorance. I ain't saying I'm the smartest person, but if you trying to destroy and you not trying to help and you ain't trying to heal, and you get off on seeing other people harmed or being hard or being stupid, and you ain't using no common sense, then that's what I'm against. If that's a race, then you label me a hater. But I'm gonna tell her like it is, and I ain't gonna stop. I don't answer to nobody but God. People have unified on a globalist agenda. People behind it are supporting it. You are in the middle. You are being manipulated to take the side. I know these words ain't gonna reach you, but that don't matter no more. It is going to be said. What's up? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just trying to just drop it off like it is, I want people to be using their mind. I want them to be, humble in their thought processes and wise in their dealings. And you just can't listen to everybody. I know it's cool to fit in. Nobody wants to be alienated. Maybe not enough people that know better ain't speaking up because they don't want to be ostracized. But I'm sad. I'm sad at the time that it is. Does my sadness even matter? I don't know. But I know the Lord knows. So I love y'all, and hope that kind of enlightens someone out there that may want to hear it.